Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about kinetic theory of gases. Now gaseous state we know is one of the three states of matter. It can be classified into two types, ideal and non-ideal gas. Non-ideal gases are also known as real gases. Let's see. Real gas. This is also known as non-ideal gas. Now this ideal gas follows equation of state for ideal gas. This is important. Ideal gas follows ideal gas equation. This gas equation is mainly PV equal to nRT. And this real gas follows another equation, which is equation of state for non-ideal gas, that is P plus n square A by V minus NB, which is equal to nRT. For now only we will deal with only this formula. This will be dealt with later. So ideal gas requires this equation to be satisfied, and we will derive and get what is ideal gas equation. Now we need to approach towards the ideal gas equation. For this we have to progress systematically to gain the knowledge. So step 1, we need to gain the knowledge of kinetic theory of gases. This is a theory with few basic assumptions, which are as follows. Now first it tells that a gas is composed of very large number of minute particles, maybe atoms or molecules. So gas is composed of large number of molecules or atoms. This is the first point which it states. We have already known it from our childhood that gas is composed of very large number of minute particles. Now second point, in absence of a force field, that is any kind of force, these particles move in straight lines. This is what is obeyed Newton's first law. Now third point, which is these particles interact. We know that the particles collide with each other frequently or infrequently during their motion in the gases. Now these points can be elaborated in better understanding of the following. Now what it states. First point, gases are composed of minute discrete particles, now called molecules. In any one gas, all molecules are of same size and mass, but these differ from gas to gas. Thus, this point indicates that gases are composed of molecules. Suppose if we have oxygen gas, it will have only oxygen molecule with definite mass and size of it. This will vary for other gas such as nitrogen, water vapor, depends on composition. Now second point, A. The molecules within the container is in ceaseless chaotic motion with high velocities colliding incessantly with each other and with the walls of container. This is what the second point, A point, states. Now, basically it means that gas molecules are in random motion. Now, the third point, that is 2B. In spite of enormous number of collisions, the molecular density in any volume of the gas is not disturbed. That is, the molecules at one place do not collect in large number than the other. At each collisions, however, the velocities are altered in directions and in magnitude. It means that though there is random motion, there is no cluster formation or grouping of molecules in a particular direction. Now C point tells us that between two collisions, a molecule moves in a straight line with uniform velocity. The period during which the collision lasts is negligible compared with the time to traverse to the distance between two successive collisions called free path. Now it means that when collision between two molecules takes place for a very small time, and while these collisions are not taking place, molecules move in a straight line and distance between two collisions are called free path. Now this definition of free path is important. Now we come across the third point, which states that the bombardment of the molecules in the walls of the container give rise to the normal pressure of the gas. The average force per unit area which the molecules exert in their impacts with the walls per unit time is the pressure. Now, as the molecule strikes the wall, they will create force on the wall, thus exerting pressure. As we know, pressure is force per area. So, we will in the next step derive the pressure exerted by the gas. Now we come across the fourth point, that is, the molecules are supposed to be perfectly elastic in collisions between one another or with the walls. The total kinetic energy before and after the collisions remain unchanged. Perfectly elastic refers to kinetic energy of a collision before and after remains the same. Now fifth point, that is, the dimensions of the molecules are negligible compared to the free paths that traverse, and ordinarily these are considered as point masses. That is, molecules are considered basically a point mass. This point basically refers and elaborates the point that molecules are considered point masses. Now sixth point, that is last point and the most important point, the temperature of a gas is a measure of the average kinetic energy of molecules of the gas in the system. This point is the important point, as from this relation we can derive different laws using derived pressure exerted by gas. We will derive the pressure in the next slide. We know on increasing temperature, molecules move faster, thus velocity of the molecules increases, thus we know kinetic energy equals to half mv square, right? So half mv square, thus kinetic energy also increases. Now we enter into the step 2, derivation of pressure exerted by gas. We consider a cube with two opposite walls named H and G. C is the total velocity with which the gas molecules move. Now we consider three axes x, y, z, and consider a particle which will move in the x direction along the x-axis. Now C is the velocity component. This is the total velocity. Now we will go to the derivation directly. The collision being perfectly elastic, molecules after striking the wall G with x1 velocity also returns with the same velocity. Momentum just when it strikes is mx1, when it rebounds momentum is mx1 with a sign of minus. Now change in momentum is final minus initial, so we put it here and we get 2mx1. After collision, it will travel distance L to make an impact on opposite wall H, then return again to G, and this will continue. So total number of collisions the molecule makes on two opposite walls in unit time is x1 by L. This is supposed to be a frequency factor, as it will have a unit of second inverse, that is velocity divided by length. This L is the length of the sides of cube. Now total momentum imparted to the two opposite walls G and H by this molecule per second is x1 by L into 2mx1. This x1 by L is the frequency factor. So we get this one. For the other two directions, that is y and z directions, we also get this one. So for the 6 walls, if we consider all total 6 walls, then the total will be this one, and c1 is the total velocity for x1. Now if the number of molecules is n1, n2, n3, that is total number is n, and each molecule is considered and their velocities is also considered, then we get the total change in momentum to be this one, each components plus. On adding each one, we get c is the total of other velocities for each particles, that is c square equals to c1 square plus c2 square plus dot dot dot. So it goes on, right? So this one, what we get is the momentum on each wall. So can be written as force exerted by molecules. This is Newton's law, because momentum divided by length gives us the force. Now pressure of gas. Pressure of gas can be written as force by area. So we have written the force by area. So this one, this 6L cube, this 6L cube will be obtained from the above formula, and L cube stands for the volume. So we write here, replace it here, and last is m by v. M by v is standing for mass by volume, which is the density. So we get pressure formula as 1 by 3 rho c square. This is important derivation according to the kinetic theory of gas, and we write as P equal to 1 by 3 rho c square. This derivation comes for the exams. 3. We are going to know about the different equations for state of gas. These are obviously ideal equations. Now Boyle's law states that volume of a gas, that is V of a gas, is inversely proportional to pressure of a gas when temperature and mole fraction is constant. It is generally represented by a graph of pressure versus volume, and it is a rectangular hyperbola. Now Charles' law, it states that volume is directly proportional to temperature when P, that is pressure, and mole fraction is constant. It is also represented as Vt equals to V0 plus V0 T by 273. Now this is also represented by a graph. If this is the volume axis and this is the temperature axis, then it can be represented as straight line extrapolated to the x-axis, and this point is minus 273 degrees Celsius. This part intercept is known as V0. Now we come to Avogadro's law. Avogadro's law states that volume of a gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of a gas when pressure and temperature is constant. We will derive the ideal gas equation using first three laws, that is Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law. Next comes Dalton's law. Dalton's law states that total pressure of an ideal gaseous mixture is sum of individual partial pressure of gases, that is P is equal to summation of each individual pressures. Last but not the least, that is Graham's law of diffusion. At constant temperature and pressure, rate of diffusion of different gases vary inversely as square root of their densities, that is R is proportional to 1 by root of density. This Rd is constant. Now we will deal with ideal gas equation. Now we know V is inversely proportional to P, and V is directly proportional to T, and V is directly proportional to N. So V is directly proportional to NT by P. So we write V equals to nRT by P. This R is universal gas constant and it has a specific value. Now what is the ideal gas equation? That is PV equal to nRT. Thus we finally derived the equation of state for ideal gas. Thus it is essential to know the assumptions of kinetic theory of gas, derivation of pressure exerted by gas, different gas laws, and last but not the least, equation of state. Please try to read these topics from books which I have already mentioned. I am giving the link of the reference book in the description box. So this much for today, and thank you for watching.